This is a 9 to 5 game review. I review games from the perspective of the 9 to 5 worker who only has an hour or two to play every weekday, maybe a bit longer on the weekend. If you're like me, you have less time to play video games than you usually did, and you're looking for advice on whether a game is good from your perspective, you don't want to grind for 50 hours, go on the wiki every 2 seconds to know what the hell you're doing, this is the video for you. Getting right into it, this game, Heroes of Hammerwatch 2, that's the game I'm going to be reviewing. Currently, I have played this game for 61.5 hours. Played it for a lot of time, so I know a lot about it. The cost right now is 23.49 Canadian. I don't know what the exchange rate is right now between American and Canadian dollars, but you're probably looking between $1 to $2.50 USD. So the way this works is I have a spreadsheet. I have identified criteria that help you evaluate whether the game is good for you. They're designed to look at the game from that lens outside that I described before. How quick can I get in? How quick can I get out? When I need to go meet my plumber at the door because my hot water tank broke, can I just drop what I'm doing and go up there? My dog vomited on the floor and I need to mop it up before my in-laws slip on it and sue me because they hate me because they never really approved of my marriage to their daughter. These are things that you need to be able to do when you are an adult with responsibilities. So stay tuned. I'll get into it. For the first criteria, time to reward. How quickly in this game are you having any fun? I've skipped the genre, co-op, multiplayer, roguelite. Things repeat. You die, reset, start from scratch. Big meta system though. You take loot out of the dungeon, whether you win or lose, you upgrade yourself, you try again. Gets easier every time, you level up. Now going into the criteria. Time to reward. How quickly is the game fun for you? Is there a long intro cutscene? Is there an unskippable tutorial that's boring? In this game, no and no. Very fun, you get in right away. Extremely quickly to get in. You download it, you play, and you're into the action. Pretty much as fast as you could be. Learning curve. Is this Path of Exile? Is there a talent tree that is, the size of a college textbook? No. There are talent trees, but they're very simple, very rudimentary. There are things that you will have to learn in order to enjoy this game, but it gives them to you at a drip feed. There are different areas, different dungeons, but you progress through them one at a time at your own pace. And you have character abilities. There are little shops in a hub world, in a meta. It's kind of like a big upgrade system. I upgrade my sword. I upgrade my armor. I have more potion charges. I can dash faster. The recovery time between my dashes is lower. There are a lot of things to upgrade, but you get them one at a time. The description of each thing is extremely obvious. Like, there's really not a big burden for you to learn, and you don't have to worry too much about optimizing where you spend your points. You can, but skill alone will take you far enough in the game where whether you have 2 potion charges or 1 versus 5% damage or armor, it will make a difference, but really not enough. And over time, you're going to get them all anyway. So there is a learning curve, but it's not so bad. Session flexibility. This is a big one. So typically with these kind of games, roguelites especially, if this were single player, you would imagine you can get in, you can quit at any time, easy peasy, totally flexible session. You're not going to be kept in. There's not going to be a penalty for you quitting early. Will your progress be saved? That's a question, right? So another thing is, if you do get in, how long are you expected to sit down there for before the end? Well, in this one, it's multiplayer. So if you leave, there's no penalty. It's not a competitive game, but obviously it's multiplayer, so your friends are now playing without you, but they can continue that play without you, so you're not really fucking them over too much. The main thing with this is how long does it take you to win? To lose can be as fast as you want, right? But the average time when I'm playing this game to win, there are many levels, and they take longer each to complete. And for you to succeed within the run, you have to go out of your way to all the nooks and crannies of the map to collect as many of these passive upgrades. If you've ever played Risk of Rain 2, and you loot those chests for the syringes and the crowbars, there's tons of little passive buffs that you have to go to corners of the map. You get them all, and your character gets slightly stronger every one you get. And if by the end, for the final boss, if you have tons of those things, only then do you have a chance of winning. If you don't, even if you're the best player in the world, you're just being outclassed by pure math. The enemy has 2 million HP, you only do 10 damage per second, you just can't win. The game is the same in this respect. So when I have gone all the way from beginning to end on New Game Plus 4, every difficulty, it takes me over an hour per run. So you're locked in. So that's not a very flexible session if you're trying to go for the end. So in the beginning of the game, it's funny because it's almost more flexible because when you're first playing with your friends, those first 20 hours, you don't have it in you to win. So you're just going to the forest boss, then to the, I don't even remember the next stage, but you're going to boss 2, then boss 3. And so it's more flexible because you're all comfortable with just dying and quitting out. Now, feasibly, you could just press escape, quit, and you can. It gives you your resources, so you still get something out of it. But being honest, if you're If you and your friends or you and random people or just you by yourself are signing up to get to the end, you're looking at like an hour. And it's got to be more than a 3 because you can do whatever you want. You can leave and it's not a long matchmaking process, right? You can play single player if you want, and it's not like it fully removes all reward from that. I need to check single player. You might even be able to resume your campaign, and that would definitely aid this, but I'll leave it at a 4 for now. Grind and tedium. So how grindy is the game? Is a grind monotonous? So typically a grind is you're farming materials over and over again, things that you don't really care to do. So this game has a grind. It's got a big, comprehensive metagame system, and all of the upgrades are tied behind resources. There's gold, there's stone, there's wood, there's these 2 types of gems, and you don't get them all in equal proportions. So what I found when I was upgrading these systems is that I had many ways where gold would outscale all of my resources, and I would be gold rich, but I'd be stone poor or wood poor. And there is a shop where you can trade gold for these resources, but at a disgusting ratio where you have to farm so much gold to get it. So you'll find yourself, playing over and over and over and over again. Part of it is a grind. It's tricky with a game like this because the grind is also built into the core loop, right? Obviously, getting stronger, getting better armor, getting better weapons, and upgrading like that's what the game wants you to do. And I don't consider that part of grind. It's the metagame spending of the stone, especially now I played before an update came out, but what I found is that when I had every single craft station maximized, everything was unlocked. The enchantment system was still gatekeeping me because the only way to get blue gems, which are the currency that you will require for enchantments, I couldn't buy them with gold. I couldn't buy them with stone. I couldn't buy them with wood. The only way to get them was to get trinkets in a game and quit out or win. So I found myself loading into the map, going straight to the Dark Altar, which is like a little skip zone, killing everything, getting like 9 trinkets and quitting. And just that's a pure grind just for me to min-max my enchantments. I don't know if there has been an update to patch and make it easier to get that, but I'm going to say, this is a grindy game. So just anticipate that if, farming materials, going off to the side, breaking these chests, opening these things, going to the little impling, trading some of your gold in that run for wood or for stone, you're going to be participating in that to upgrade your meta towers to do better next time and to be stronger next time. So there are roguelites without a grind, right? I don't think Slay the Spire really has a grind. You can unlock certain passives, but there's no talent tree, right? So if you're not a grindy type person, if you want to just be as strong as you possibly can out the gates, and then you're more worried about what happens in the game, think of like a Spelunky. There's very little meta systems in that game, and most of how you succeed is based on your ability as a player. Well, this game, if you're level 1, you're not getting to the last boss. You have to grind your way up to a powerful enough statistical level to get there. So some people enjoy that, some people don't. So just be aware there is a grind. Value proposition. So it costs this much. How much do you get out of it? $23.49 is not cheap for an indie game, which is shocking because that's fairly cheap, right? But nowadays there's just a lot of competition for as much money or cheaper. However, it's a good game. There is a lot of content. There are multiple classes. The classes have unique abilities. They scale with different things and items in the run. So there's a lot of replayability. It also encourages you to replay because getting to a certain level on a character type, like the Paladin, will give you a passive bonus to all other characters. So it's in itself, playing each character is its own meta progression. So it encourages you to play the game from different viewpoints, and obviously a mage will cast spells and be from a distance, whereas a warrior will go in and attack with a melee weapon. And so your experience playing the game from those 2 different class perspectives is different, and it adds novelty and dopamine, and it's fun to do that. So what I'm saying is the game is it's low priced and there's a lot of content, but it's not it's not quite in the 5 out of 5 echelon. If it were only $10, it would get there. If it had even more content, it would get there, but it's not quite there. It's good for your money, but it's not as good as other games like Vampire Survivors or the crazy cheap ones like that. Memory burden. There's not really a memory burden here. Memory burden is for games like Skyrim. You're level 70, you played for 130 hours, and you're loading the save up that you had 2 years ago, and you're trying to make sense of it. Memory burden is to say when you put the game down and you pick it back up, how quickly is it for you to relearn what's going on? I won't get into too much detail, but for this game, if I were to boot it up right now, I would know exactly what to do. So there's really no memory burden. So 5 out of 5. Core loop satisfaction. When the learning curve is out of the way, and you know what you're doing, and you're in the middle of the game, moment to moment, how fun is it? It's pretty fun. It's satisfying to use your abilities. It's satisfying to get little upgrades and to see your HP go up and to see your damage numbers go up and to get unique things that you haven't done before. It surprised me with the amount of levels that there were. When I first played, I'm like, wow, there's so many levels. And that was right out the gate when they released it. And so what am I mean? Well, new levels is novelty, new enemies, new things, new chests, new traps to navigate through. Novelty is fun. Pursuit of new things, surprise, it's all dopaminergic, right? Um, so the game is fun. It's not excellent, you know, it's not like their most refined system with tons of depth to it and amazing combat interactions. You have an attack, you have a dash, you have 3 abilities. That's it. So it's not a 5 out of 5, but I think it's a good 4. Jude points. What these are is effectively just me, my personal opinion, trying to be all the other metrics. I was trying to be objective, whereas this is just left to me as a person to kind of resonate with the game. Do I think it's deserving of? I can only add up to half a point. Sprinkle on a little bit of bonus points to it. For this game, I think it's charming. I think it's a great system. I think it's very well polished, and I think the game design is on point. This guy who made this game, they respect you as a player, and they have tried to design away from tedious systems, and it shows. So I think this game is deserving of 0.2. Wrapping that all up, this is a healthy score for a game. It's quick to get in, it's quick to get out, easy to learn, fun to play. And multiplayer is a huge blessing. It's fun by yourself. I played many rounds by myself. It's also extremely fun with your friends. So I would recommend it. Adding this to the table of games to rank amongst the other games that I've ranked, 5, 4, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4. All right. What is it called? Heroes of Hammerwatch. Okay, I forgot immediately. 5, 4, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4. 5, 4, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 0.2. Let's sort this now. Sort Z to A. There it is, right in the middle. You may be shocked by this list. Again, this is not for objective ranking of games, not at all. This is only ranking them from the perspective of somebody with limited time to enjoy games. So it's really focusing on how quick is it for you to have fun, how fun is it when you are playing it, and how leveraging those factors into the price as well. So again, don't think that this game, is comparable to Baldur's Gate 3 in terms of the objective quality of the game. Obviously, it's not. But again, you want to get home, you want to have fun. This game fits healthily into that for you. So if you like this kind of review format, check out my other videos.